Slip collar connection. Begin by selecting parts A and B for the slip collar putty kit with yellow labels. Pour all of part B into the part A jar containing the Chembond putty, making sure to remove hardener from the corners of the jar. Thoroughly mix the hardener into the putty, again scraping putty from the corners of the jar to ensure a complete blended mix. Mix for a few minutes to achieve a smooth peanut butter-like consistency. The first step is to apply a thin layer of putty mix to the inside surface of one of the duct ends to be joined to the depth of the beaded slip collar. Apply a liberal coat of putty mix to one side and edge of the outside surface of the beaded slip collar and insert the coated end into the duct end. Whenever possible, reach into the duct end and smooth the putty mix evenly into the connection seam. Apply putty mix over the remaining outer surface area of the beaded slip collar and to the inside surface of the adjoining duct, and slide the adjoining duct fitting over the collar until the end hits the bead of the beaded slip collar. Smooth the outside surface so the putty is even with the adjoining duct outer surfaces. Outside glass and resin layup bond. Begin by selecting parts A and B for the slip collar resin kit with green labels. Pour all of part B into the part A jar containing the Chembond resin, making sure to remove hardener from the corners of the jar. Thoroughly mix the hardener into the putty, scraping resin from the corners of the jar to ensure a complete blended mix. Mix for a few minutes to achieve a smooth, resin-like consistency. Use only boat cloth, fine mesh, for glass reinforcement. Using a paintbrush, wet out the outer surfaces of the adjoining pieces of duct with the Chembond resin mix. This layer should be resin-rich, but not so rich as to cause excessive runs and drips. Because of the resin's high viscosity, a liberal amount of resin can be applied easily. Apply one layer of dry boat cloth around the wet-out joint, pulling the cloth into the joint. Using the paintbrush, wet out the outer surface of the boat cloth in the same direction that the boat cloth was applied, smoothing the joint to achieve a resin-rich, uniform surface. Squeegee the outside of the joint to remove excess resin. The outside surface of the ducts can be cleaned with isopropyl alcohol wipe.